Alchemize your energy. Darling, let your spirit be free. Don't give up, keep on pushing through. Now is the time, it's all up to you. Alchemize your energy, my friend. Let your spirit be free. Don't give up, keep on pushing through. Now is the time, it's all up to you. No matter the storm, but over tragedy. No matter the storm, but over tragedy. No matter the storm, we will always take flight. Keep on pushing through the darkness of night. There's no limit, let's reach for the sky. Shine so bright, from darkness to light.
Welcome everybody to this Saturday's installment of Alchemizing Energy. Today we have a special guest, and I'm so proud to bring her on. Not too many times do you really get to speak to a lot of people that practice African spiritualities, the priests of this religion, of Ifa religion, of Sheshe, of Lukumi, and that understand things. And you know, a lot of times these traditions have come from a hidden place. You know, people kept their traditions and their spirituality to themselves, right? And so there's a lot of misconceptions that happen. So I wanted to start bringing out these priests to quell a lot of the misconceptions. You get a lot of, and then with the misconceptions comes disrespect, just straight disrespect. So I want to, without further ado, bring on a special guest, Eshu Nikki.
Alafia. Alafia, everyone.
Alafia. So Eshu Nikki.
Yes.
So give us the introduction. Who exactly, who is Eshu Nikki?
My whole name is, wow, this is going to be long. The whole name is Iku, Princess Alagba Laogun Ishunike Yomi Lashon Levet Baker Law is the entire name. It means Death Princess, Gatekeeper of Iron, one who brings the blessings that saves, shines with speed. And you already know what Baker Law means creator and lay down the law.
So, okay. Wow, that's one heck of a name right there. Now
I try to walk by it.
Right. So you travel the path of Eshu.
Yes.
I noticed you have a Jester's hat on. So
yes.
What is that about? What is it? Did the Jester come from the Eshu? Or?
It's one of the many paths. I'm actually wearing this right now in memory of one of my mothers. She was actually my swap. She was literally my mambo, my main teacher of the voodoo, of the Haitian voodoo, especially down in New Orleans. Her name is Mama Trini. She was known as Iadia, and she gave me this. And she claimed me as her child the moment she met me, because we both share the same birthday and everything, June 7th. And she has taught me very much a lot about our spirituality, especially on the voodoo side, and a lot about how to break a lot of the curses. But the Jester hat deals with, Legba Eshu has 333 paths. Wow. The Jester hat in olden times, and we're going to talk about medieval times and times before that. You know, some people consider the Jester the fool, or, you know, that person that's there to entertain the king. And yes, we are there to entertain the king. And sometimes we are meant to look like fools, but we are the main ones that a lot of the people fear, because we do spy on y'all. Back in the day, the Jesters were known as the spy masters.
Really? So, wow. So in those societies, I thought it was the mass society that were the spies. Like
you got the mass societies that were spies. You have a lot of people that were spies on certain levels. Like I said, in when you're dealing with the African society, it all depends on which egg bay that you live in, what ile you're in, what house you serve that you're taught of, and which part of the branch of the diaspora tree that you're a part of. Because all of those all inlay together.
Right. So when you talk about those people, those spies, those are the ones that were meant to keep order in the village. There wasn't necessarily like the police of the village.
Yeah, they actually kept order in the village. They always talk to the king. They talk to their obas and their olowos. They tell them everything that they see, everything that they heard. And usually the main thing is the messages that they bring. They have to bring messages of truth or warrant, just to make sure that the king is aware of everything that goes on in his village.
And that's one thing that I always try to make known is that a lot of like the priesthoods of these things, because when they talk about voodoo, they only talk about the curses, the spells, this, that, the other. But this is a societal structure. It's a culture.
It is. It really is. You have a lot of people. How can I put this? Over here in the diaspora side, North and South America, you got, just like you have the Yoruba tree. From that Yoruba tree came the North and South America of what happened with the slave trade. From the birth of Ifa came Lukumi, Voodoo, Obaya, Santeria, and Santa. And the list goes on. And this comes from trying to save a lot of the cultures that were transferred over during the time of the slave trade. So depending on which house that you come from, like say you're from America, but you go down to Cuba and get initiated. You're initiated to either Lukumi or you're initiated to Santeria, which are the strongest parts because of the Spanish side. You go down to Brazil, you're going to deal with Lukumi, Santeria, and a whole bigger genre because they celebrate Ifa bigger than we do up here in America. In America, New Orleans is the Mecca of the voodoo cities and all the voodoo nations. So depending on, again, which side that you decide to go, you're still going to have to deal with 256 Odus that are marked with Ifa or Fa, however way you want to call it. And you still have to follow those particular laws. You're just in different houses according to those particular Babalaos and Ianifas that are in control of those particular houses.
Right. So when you talk about the laws, the Odu, a lot of people don't know what the Odu are. What is the Odu? What would it be compared to?
Actually, I can show you the 16 laws of Ifa right now if you like.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Hold on just a second.
And you want to know why I think this is important? Because I've been on other panels and they'll say, oh, you guys, the African culture, they'll do human sacrifice. They do this, they do that. And it's like, no, this was a very governed system. The culture itself was governed.
First of all, you got many of the African societies that do bloodletting. And that's something that can be done by choice or how it's according to, again, it's according to that particular egg bay, that particular ile. Because we're in a day and time where we have to evolve. And here's some real truth, just actual factual truth. Blood is being spilled every 5 seconds. You follow me?
Yeah.
With innocent blood being spilled every 5 seconds, I mean, we as priests, especially high priests, all we have to do is just put our hand to the ground and pray. But you have those that they follow the old traditions, and I don't knock them for not following those traditions because that's a part of the culture, rather it be older than you. I mean, even our other constituents, they've been practicing the Druid cultures and all of those with bloodletting and everything also. I mean, it's no different in African society. What bothers me is when they try to sensationalize our culture and demonize it, like they've been doing for the last 400 years of demonization of our culture. And then they try to turn around and copy our culture and try to market as theirs. That's where the insult, that's where the real big slap in the face is. Because you cannot sit here and dictate and say, oh, y'all do all of this, y'all do all of that. Well, they've been doing this for the last 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,000 years. And my question is, what is the difference between now and then? What's the difference is we're in a time where everything is being put on TV. The revolution is not televised. Well, it is televised now.
Right. Sure is.
Revolution is televised now and being seen in so many different ways. It's insane. But the 16, here we go. This is like what I have in my hand is the 16 laws of Ifa.
Yep.
So
Okay.
let me read these off to you because I actually had to go through these all the time with my teacher when he first handed this to me. So this is actually an old piece of paper that I'm actually holding that, our Alagba, IfaYomi, Fagbenro, Amusan handed to me years ago because he tried to follow these rules. His instruction were to follow these rules as best as we can. 16 laws of Ifa. 1, do not say what you do not know. 2, do not perform anything you know that you do not have the basis of knowledge of. 3, do not mislead the people. 4, do not deceive the people. 5, do not claim wisdom or pretend to be wise. 6, be humble and never be egocentric. 7, do not be treacherous. 8, do not break taboos. 9, keep Orisha food and sacred paraphernalia clean always. We ain't gonna talk about all the altars I seen that were dirty.
Right. Right.
Number 10, keep the shrine clean. Number 11, respect the weak and feeble and be nice to them. Number 12, respect, be nice to the elders. The youth today, as they say.
Right.
13, respect moral laws. 14, do not betray a friend. We have that done many a times. And number 15, do not go behind and discuss secrets or betray the trust. And the last one, and my favorite, because I have witnesses done too many times, and this is the reason why I stepped back and I said, I'm going to just sit and I'm going to observe everybody from here on out. Do not disrespect or make love to a Babalaw's wife.
So
those were the 16. Those were the major 16 laws that some of the people of Ifa are supposed to carry out.
Right. And there was also another like 16 truths of Ifa. Do you know that one?
Oh, you're talking about the Odus.
Where it says
it's actually you got the first 16 Odus, and then you have the 256 Odus.
No, I was saying it was saying like that sacrifice must be made, and it ensures success.
That actually goes back to when you have to follow those particular Odus, and it also goes back to what particular your house and your Ile.
Oh, okay.
That's where a lot of people get the confusion from, because again, it goes back to the house of the Ile, which is a school. There's a difference. An Ile is known as your house. The Egbe is the people that you're initiated to. They are the team. They are the team. They are the tribe that wear all the same. You know, they wear all the same garb. That is your team that's supposed to be your spiritual team. The Ile is the house or the school that you're supposed to be taught under.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna like show these rules real quick so that people can see them. So these are some of the rules that, you know, the 16 rules.
Okay.
Them down so that people can, you know.
Yes.
Read them. Yep. Do not say what you do not know. Do not perform anything you do not have the basis of knowledge of. Do not mislead the people. Do not deceive. Do not claim wisdom or pretend to be wise. Be humble. Never egocentric. Don't be treacherous. Don't break taboos. Keep Orisha food and sacred paraphernalia clean always. Keep the shrine clean. Respect the weak and feeble and be nice to them. Respect and be nice to the elders. Respect moral laws. Do not betray your friends. Do not go behind and discuss secrets or betray trust. Do not disrespect or make love to the Babalao's wife.
Yep.
I mean,
exactly.
You know, I mean, that's crazy that people are making love to the Babalao's wife. Like, what is that part? That's an interesting law.
That right now, I can actually say that I'm actually working on 3 different books. One of those books, I've already have like 5 or 6 stories, and they're dealing with people that are in the Orisha community, and the names have changed, but I'll put it this way: their names have changed, but I put them in an Orisha form. Like I have one story that's called Shango Finds a Wife. It's a lesson learned behind that, because it actually talks about how you need to follow directions when directions that were given to you the first time and you didn't do it.
Wow.
Another story I have is, and that story was literally about, you know, you should have listened. Another story I've written that I'm working on is the Oluwo that finds a wife but is betrayed by his son.
So,
and that actually is dealing with Law 16.
And you know, I heard that the Odu is ever changing, an ever growing oracle. Do those oracles get added by the practitioner, or and then eventually just get widely used or added to like some kind of an oral compass, or how does that work?
There is basically, bottom line, 256 Odus of Ifa and Fa in the Yoruba, Santeria, and the Voodoo culture. Matter of fact, I'm about to reach back here behind me and pull out this big book, because this is the same book that even Baba IfaYomi had me studying.
And you have to memorize that, right?
I can't memorize this. I'm even trying to. What I am trying to do is learn as much as I possibly can, and I try to live by the Odus day by day. Because you have those that I have people that I know that they have their daily Odus. I have people that have their weekly Odus that they follow, and they literally follow because they literally study their the major 16 Odus that follow up to the next 256 Odus. So when everybody does their daily Odu, they try to follow it. You know how the rule goes. You try to follow that daily Odu by the T, and beware of whatever discrepancies or whatever what is the word I'm looking for, distractions that will be in your way for whatever you had going on that day, whatever you have going on that week. Now, in certain cases that I have witnessed personally, when we have people that did the 17-day Odu, where they literally had the Oluwo and other people over in Africa, they had them do the readings. They did the elbows over there, and they'll send the money over here. We will send the money over there so they can do the elbows over there. If we're able to do the elbows here, we'll still give them a donation, but we'll go on and try to knock it out ourselves if we're possibly able to do it here. Because one of the things that we used to art that I actually listened to a lot of the Babalaos here in America and those over in Africa have is, why is it y'all don't do what we tell y'all to do and do it immediately? And over here in America, we have to say, yo, we have to follow certain kashrut law before we go slaughter things.
Right. We can't just
We gotta find out if we're in the right zip code. We got to find out if we can do it here or if we got to go somewhere else. Yeah, we have to do some of our stuff in secret, but if we have to do it, we over here in America, we have to explain to our people, or in Africa, we had to do a lot of our stuff in secret because of how, scary and spooked out, our cohorts were.
So let's explain that. Let's go into the sacrifice aspect of Ifa. I wasn't gonna go into the 16 truths of Ifa. That's what it was. The 16 truths of Ifa.
Okay.
But then I wanted to talk about the sacrifice because it does talk about that when we talk about the 16 truths. So let me share that real quick.
Okay.
And you might have seen this before. This document. I'm not sure if you have. So let me see if I can zoom in a little bit.
Oh, gonna make me get my specs on.
Okay. So the 16 truths of Ifa is that number 1, there's a single God. Number 2, there is no devil. Now let me stop at number 2.
They don't believe in the devil. There's no such thing as a devil.
So let's
everybody is evil because everybody is capable of evil. Everybody is capable of evil one way or the other, bottom line. I mean, everybody has good and bad in them. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm not going to, and no disrespect to my Christian family or my Muslim Nation of Islam family, but when you have had it beaten into you to such a degree, and I'm sorry, our Black folks have had it whipped into us, the Bible whipped into us in so many different directions, to where we are blinded by what our cohorts have taught us and what they wanted us to believe, so we won't, do what they wanted us to do. So in Africa, yeah, there is no such thing as a devil. There isn't, because they don't believe it. They believe that people are equally good and evil. They're the ones that have the devil and the angel on their shoulder, and it's up to them to decide how they're going to go about their day and conducting it.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie. I can tell you how many times I have been called Satan myself and the devil.
Right. Well, they think that Eshu is the devil in the religion. So explain that. The Eshu
is not the devil. He is not the devil in the religion, and that is my biggest pet peeve. Also, I'm not gonna lie. If he's such a devil in the community, why is his face on the Oponi Fi? It is his job to know your destiny. Out of all, and this is what the real truth is, out of all the Orishas and Loas, he's the one that's got to give your offerings to the Loas and your other Orishas. He doesn't have to give it to your Egungun, because you're supposed to know who your Egungun is anyway. But when it comes to the Loas and Orisha, yeah, it's his job to deliver their messages, their foods, their offerings, and everything. That's the reason why he gets first dibs at everybody's stuff, because of certain said things. He is not the devil. It is his job to make sure that the Babalao is honest with you, and the client is honest in their heart. Because while he's there witnessing y'all do your work, he's reporting to Ola Dumare what's going on with the Babalao and the client. It's his job to know that the Babalao does his part of his job to the client. It is up to the client to do his part of what he's supposed to do. Now, If the client decides he doesn't want to do his part and he just wants to go way lay, woohoo, and whatever, and Legbe Eshu is looking at him like, so you're not going to follow your destiny? This is your destiny. So you want to go over there? Okay, let me throw obstacles in your way. Because you know you ain't supposed to be over here. That's where that term, the devil made me do it, came from. And I'm sick and tired of that, because the devil didn't make you go over there. You chose to go over there. You chose that route. Now you mad that Eshu but knows what your destiny is. No, you ain't supposed to be over here. And he's putting obstacles in your way so you can go the way you're supposed to be going, the right way. But if you choose to go that, yes, may you always have suffering and trauma and all of that, and he's going to give it to you.
Wow.
If you're not doing what you're supposed to do, it is his job to give you pure grief because you're not doing your destiny's work. And if it was the Babalao that was doing wrong by the client, the same thing goes with him. He will have a lot of treacherous stuff happen to him because he didn't do right by the client. So the reason why a lot of these Babalaos, some of them are not where they're supposed to be and others are where they're supposed to be. Give thanks. The same way with our Nifas. You can't do dirt. You can't do bad and think you can get away with it and think it's going to not be seen.
Right. 100%. So
Legbe Eshu is all about truths.
All right. So the next truth of Ifa is except for the day you were born and the day that you're supposed to die, there's no single event in your life that cannot be forecast by Ifa and when necessary changed.
And that is so true, because you don't know what's going to happen to you from 1 minute to the next. I can actually say as a witness, in the last 3 months, my life is not only has it turned upside down and crisscross, but even losing very precious people in my life that were key people in my life hit this domino effect for me to be open to the rest of the Ifa community.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm grateful for those doors being open, but that pain hurts real bad, because these people should still be here and they're not. They were taken from us too young.
Yeah. One door closes, another door opens,
All the time. And I've learned a long time ago, I cannot complain about the situation. All I can say is I give thanks and go forward, because there's no other way to do but to go forward.
Kabiesi Oba Oyotunji.
Kabiesi.
Yeah. So the
he
Oba,
was my brother.
Oyotunji passed away. That's one person that she's talking about, some grief that's going on.
Yes.
So do you want to, it's before we go further with the interview, do you want to take some time to acknowledge him and explain some of the things that he was doing in that Oyotunji Village, and like his influence in your life, and how, because I know you were his bodyguard when he was in Texas and Dallas. Yes. And stuff like that. So let's get into that real quick. Let's do a quick pivot.
Well, a lot of people are still amazed at me, and they look at me insane because I have yet to go to Oyotunji Village. I have yet to go. But how I've learned to connect with the Oba is we all have family here in Dallas. And one of the main things is his own mother, Ibayashe. She is actually buried right in OakCliff, right there in Laura Land. So when he was in Dallas, not only when I was first introduced to him, he appreciated me being around a lot. And every time, because I used to get confused why would he ask for me a lot. And from what I understand from Queen Gresorete, and she said this herself, we feel very safe around your energy. I guess I have this protective energy about me that certain people, they feel more safe around me than they feel around other folks. And I've been knowing the Oba for like over 15 years now, and I really appreciate the time I had with him. He's more like I'm not gonna lie, he's more like a little brother to me. than he was a king. He literally was. He came, he stayed at our house, and we always had spent time together. We ate, we cooked. I listened to a lot of his lectures. When the crown came off, the work hat came on. A lot of people don't know that, he was actually from what I understand, he was a true fix-it man of everything. Everything that in the Oyotunji village that needed to be fixed, he was there to fix it. And
for those that are not aware of Oyotunji Village was the only African Yoruba village in America. It was based out of South Carolina. Could you go into that just for people that might not know that there was a king actually in America?
It is a king. It was actually a king in America. His father, Kabiesi the first, he created this village back in 60? I want to say it was 68. Don't give me the line because I haven't got all the information on it yet. I'm still studying a lot of it because they're grilling it into me right now as we speak. He built the village for our brothers and sisters that could not go to Africa, to try to find the culture and seek it back then. So he actually created this entire village in North Carolina, not far from Savannah. And it's ridiculously huge. It's about, how big is it? It's 25 acres of swampland. From what I understand, even Harriet Tubman came through that land at one time, bringing through the freeing the slave, freeing our people. Yeah. That place was built for those people that could not go to Africa, that are seeking some type of spirituality that they could not get in the church or in the mosque or anywhere. And, for those who are just trying to find themselves. Oyotunji was created just for that. And from here, I pray that it still prosper. I don't know if they elected our king yet, but I'm really praying that I will be saluting the next king that they do have, Ibayashe, because I do miss him. That was my friend. Look at all of them.
This is the Oba. They are at the United Nations. This is the chief. He's the chief of the Oyotunji, the chief Oluwo. So whenever you have a king, you have an Oluwo, like a chief. You have a diviner for the king. And that what that does is that he kind of helps him to keep the village, like take care of the people, things like that. So and so this is them at the United Nations, and these are all kings right here. Everybody that's on this picture. So all the other African kings acknowledged him as a king as well in America.
They sure did. They do. They acknowledge it. They really do, and I'm happy that they do. I am so grateful that I'm grateful that his father created this, and I'm grateful that he brought it together and he kept it going. It just pains me that it happened the way this happened, just out of the blue. It was just unexpected.
Yeah.
But he was a very wonderful young man that was taken away from us.
And as you look this, the Pope has a hat like this. This is where they get it from,
Yeah, that's exactly where they get it from. Exactly where they get it from. I used to have people ask me all the time, what is the Oba like? What is he like? I'm like, he is the most laid back person that you want to talk to. He's not, I can't believe I'm about to say this. He's not a stuck up person. He's very down to earth. He will give you, and trust me, I have seen it happen too many times. When he gives you his full attention, it's like the sun is shining on you. And trust me, I have heard how some people be having a feelings hurt when he has to correct, and they be like, "Oh, he hurt my feelings. Right. I can't believe it. I can't believe the Oba said that he reprimanded me." And I'm be looking at them like, he's doing exactly what he's supposed to be doing. You know what? You go to your corner.
Right.
You go to your corner because you need to act right.
Right. So yeah.
Y'all know that he's got certain responsibilities. And you cannot sit here and take a lot of the stuff that he say personally. You have to take the orders and keep it going.
and this is his father, who started the Oyotunji Village in South Carolina.
Yes.
And I think I forget who this is. I think he is the I forget this. I was told this person was with the green on, but I forget.
Yes.
So, but basically, this was a village in America that was an African village.
It's still there, and it's still there.
It's still there.
Not going.
I'm talking about in
It's still,
past tense, like it's gone. It's still there.
it's still there, and nobody look. The thing of it is things have changed. We're just waiting on to see what permission is, if they're still going to be allowing people to come in. But the village is there. And for those that are seeking out the village, please go visit, go experience a piece of Africa that's right here in America, please. I'm planning on going. Matter of fact, somebody send me.
Right. So I wanted to give a quick.
Our top story tonight: a close-knit low-country community.
I don't want to play that. I want to give a quick, rest in peace and a moment of silence for the king of Oyotunji Village. He's passed on, but he's still here with us. Quick moment of silence, Ashe. Ashe.
Atubwe, you are missed. You are missed, my brother. You are missed, Oba.
So let's continue on. I mean, because I can feel that. I feel that energy. He wanted to be acknowledged. You know what I'm saying? He wanted to be. He's here, and I had to go ahead and stop the show for a quick. Let you know he's here, and he I can feel his energy. You know what I'm saying? So
he'll be like, "Akuti kuti kuta shekalu." He used to wake up. No, he used to text all of the issues and send that message to us all the time, and we just be like, okay, bye-bye.
Right, you know.
He recognizes his children. He recognized all his children of his shoe, and I love it. Give thanks. Won't complain at all.
So, Sugar Love, did you have a question?
No, I don't have any questions at all.
I'm sorry. Sugar Love just joined the panel. She's my co-host.
Hi, how are you? No,
right.
I don't have any questions just yet. I'm just listening, and then I'll have some questions later.
Okay. All right. So let's get further into these truths, because what I'm gonna do is that we're gonna go into, because we were at number 3, so we're at 4.
Mm-hmm.
It is your birthright to be happy, successful, and fulfilled. We're going into the 16 truths of Ifa. 5, you should grow and obtain wisdom during your process of life. 6, you are reborn through your blood relatives. So let's get into that. Reincarnation.
Yep. According to Ifa and 5, you choose your parents up in heaven while you're up in heaven. You make an agreement with a room, I want that person and I want that person. This is where I can actually crack the joke. How did I get that wrong twice?
Wow.
Because I know that I am born in the 70s, and I was born in the early 70s, and I was born during that loving generational thing that was going on. So my father was black, my mother was white. And with all the history that I found out just about them two, blew my mind back in 2016 when I did the DNA test. When you choose your family, I mean, they are responsible for you coming into this world. And you technically, as you get older and realize certain things, you got to take responsibility that you chose these parents. So I own up to, I'm not saying I made a mistake, but I can actually say I did have to put them two together in order for me to get here. I am here. All right. I chose these two other parents as my adopted parents. Yeah, we gonna do this. Y'all can go on and throw me away. I'm gonna get with these parents. I'm gonna get with Ogun and Yemunjai over here. Let's do this.
So okay. So you choose to be here, you choose your parents, you choose the circumstances. Do you see your entire destiny before your eyes, what's gonna happen to you, and then you forget, correct?
That is correct.
Wow.
You forget certain sad things as soon as you come through. Look, as soon as you come through that tunnel, it's like you get a mind erased as soon as you're birthed. But you got to go through it. Usually what they do is as soon as you're birthed, the Babalaos and Ianifas, after I want to say a week after you're born, they're supposed to do the head reading of you, of who rules over your head. Now, unfortunately, I never had any of those things done to me until later when I finally got my Itai. Itai is the reading that you receive that is actually your life, is supposed to be your life head reading of what your path is supposed to be going forward. But when you do the Itai, the Babalao and the Ianifas, they write down a list of all the things that you're supposed to be doing or supposed to be doing in the proximity of what your lifespan of your path is, and let you know what your taboos are, what you're supposed to be avoiding, not supposed to be doing. Like if your taboo, example, if your taboo says that you're supposed to be a doctor, but you over here being a stripper and you're high, you're getting high and doing all this other stuff, there's an example right there.
So what, do you get punished for that?
Yeah. Some people are because they don't because they don't follow their paths in certain ways that they're supposed to, they end up in poverty. In most cases, it turns out to be poverty. I have seen plenty of Babalaos and Ianifas rise to high heights, and then all of a sudden they come crashing down because they got a big head. Their ego got the best of them, and they started working against, they started doing stuff, that's against their taboos.
Right. So you might have a taboo not to smoke or drink. You start drinking, then it'll get you to the point where you just go spiral out of control. Or if you smoke, you get sick or something like that, and you end up impoverished or whatever because you got sick, probably couldn't work or whatever, right?
Yep. Example, look, Exhibit A. I'll share this one. I'll share this particular taboo that I have. I'm not supposed to drink in public.
Okay.
I drink in private, but I can't drink in public. And I learned from an early age, in my early 20s, I do not need to be drinking in public, nor do I need to be drunk in public, because one or two things happen. I'm either that happy, loving drunk that will tell you some truths, the ugly truth at that. Or I'll be the mean drunk. The one, like, if I see something pop off and I'm like, if you bring that trouble over here, this whole entire place is about to be torn up.
Right.
Yeah, I'll be like, yo, if y'all keep that over there, I'll be cool. But the moment you bring that in this direction, okay, y'all want to bring the chaos? Okay, let me show you what chaos really is about. I don't look for trouble.
Right. So your taboo is not to do that, but if you do it, it's gonna be a mess. You know what I'm saying?
It's gonna be a hot mess.
It's going to ensue. So that's what a taboo is, you guys. So just so you know, we talk about taboos, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So then so it says the next one is that heaven is a rune and home is the earth is the marketplace. We are in constant passage between the two.
Yeah.
So what do you think that means?
That literally means that this is where we're at right now. This is the marketplace. This is where we make our money. This is where we do what we're supposed to be doing according to our life path. And Orun is heaven. I mean, that's just another way of saying that's heaven. Orun is heaven. That is a place where the ancestors are. That is a place where Obatala and Orishas are, and the angels are.
Mm-hmm.
And here on earth, this is where we're supposed to make our, make what all of the gifts that we've been blessed with. We're supposed to use them to, to the degree of us making money, making our way, our lifestyle here on earth.
Ashe, ashe. So it says you are part of the universe in a literally, not a figurative way.
It's something that even Chief Baba IfaYomi Fagbenro Amusan used to say. The universe is mental.
Mm. And there's other people that say those things, but it's crazy because like until I got into African spirituality, I did not realize how deep the Yoruba people were, the African people were. Because the way that people want to make it seem is like that the European actually civilized us or made us civilized. That they had to
wait. I got to crack on. Look, this is where I get to crack on my own people, because with me being light, bright, and damn near white, yes, I am a mulatto. I will I claim my Scottish Irish ancestors. I claim them. And don't make me get started on them, because they the other black folks that everybody don't want to mess with. So with that being said, how can a people that used to live in the Caucasus Mountains, and last time I checked, it took Abraham and Imhotep to bring those folks out of the mountains, but we're the ones that not civilized? Come on now, make it make sense. Because last time I remember, some of them used to waddle in their own feces. They didn't know how to wash themselves a long time ago. That was us that actually taught them. They used to come, look, Plato, back in the histories, even when I was studying Greek mythology and they talked about Plato, Ulysses, and all of these people, these are the same people that used to go to Africa. Matter of fact, go to Egypt, because Egypt used to be the Mecca. The Mecca. Matter of fact, Egypt and Osobo, back in those days of Nigeria, those were the places where learning was. So
Osobo had like a learning center similar to Mecca or to Egypt. Okay.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, that's interesting.
A lot of people don't know that. It goes back to who are the keepers that wrote history. They only wrote what they want to write.
Right.
So when you only read, so if you're only reading what our, and I'm sorry to say it this way, if you're reading only what our pale people have taught us, then you only scratching just a piece of the surface. That means that you don't even know yourself or are willing to find out about your own self. So, I at least had to.
Yeah. So here's the question: did the Yoruba people, or the people that even practice Ifa, that culture, the whole Yoruba culture, and that all that West African culture, did the people come from Mecca or Egypt or like the Nile Valley? That were they the actual Cushites that, and then they migrated, or were they always in Nigeria?
There was always a Mecca going back and forth in those times that had been scribed, especially in Ethiopia, what was then Kush back then. They actually have the scrolls about how they used to go from East Africa to West Africa, just from, certain said knowledge that had to be, supplied back and forth during that time. So they literally did share the schoolings back and forth then. It just somewhere down in the middle of these times, they just decided, it just got stopped, or I couldn't even tell you how it actually halted. I just know that
when the European came and put borders up and started separating these groups and say, oh, this is Ethiopia, this is that, and put borders in Africa where people couldn't move freely anymore. They started to separate things. Yeah, that's crazy. But people used to migrate back and forth. That's why things are very similar
It's just like the same thing here. It's the same thing that's here in America when they try to get a talk about, and this is where I actually talk to my black folks here. Most of us are actually black indigenous. Real talk. And yeah, we also got yes, and we do have the pyramids all through America that they're now discovering that they want to be about.
Right.
And we used to migrate. I mean, not trying to be funny, but I mean the migration with our indigenous people that were here in North and South America was going up and down. They went with the seasons. Majority, I mean, here in Texas, this used to be all Shoshone, Apache, and Hopi country. This used to be their land, and we used to trade with our Cheyenne and Sioux people.
Wow. And those there were some Africans here. There were Africans here.
Though we got the Seminoles and the Gullah Geechees. Those were all Comanches. They were black. The Blackfoots, they were black. They don't want it. They look, our white look. The colonizers wanted to lighten us up.
Right.
When you look at the Trail of Tears, they only show you certain parts of the Trail of Tears. They ain't gonna show you everything of the Trail of Tears. Because they literally did a full massacre on a lot of our black indigenous people here in America. Or tried to put them in slaves and stick them right there with the rest of our African brother and sister, and that came over from Africa.
Right. And did those people that were native, did they come from Africa over to America a long time ago?
I want to say that they were already here. We already had people that were already here. That there's this one book called Ancient's Future that literally talks about the way the Pantrian continent separated. But the way the pharaohs they didn't look at the River Nile that we look at, the real River Nile that's in Egypt. The River Nile to them back then was the Atlantic Ocean, because there were certain herbs that were over here in North and South America that took a year and 6 months to travel from Egypt to over here in North and South America to get those herbs, just to get them back over there. It's talked about. It's in go look up the book Ancient Futures. It talks about it.
Wow. And so we talk about well, I was going to go into like the medicine man and the witch doctor but I wanted to finish up these truths of Ifa so that we could get to the foundation of the religion, of the religious aspect of it, and then go into misconceptions and things like that. So we did 8. So now you must never initiate harm to another human being. You must never attempt to harm the universe of which you are a part. How could you harm the universe? That's interesting.
It's just like what you put. Look, you do evil to somebody or something, an animal, cut down a tree, mistreat anything that's of nature. You know, you do harm, even if you do harm to yourself, that is actually an act of law. That's actually an act against, the universe.
Wow, interesting. Never harm the universe. So like suicide, things like that would be considered harm.
That is actually it is. It's actually in certain areas it's serious. It's a serious taboo, but it goes back to depending on the circumstances. That scenario, because if we have to look at suicide in certain ways, and I hate to actually talk about it in this light, but there's a story about a certain group of Jews that committed suicide so they wouldn't be captured by the Romans. So
also the story of the trade where people jumped off the boats so that they wouldn't be brought over to
enslaved. Right. Exactly. So when you look at those particular circumstances, you have to really look at the suicide as, is it by choice, or was it by force, or was it by other means? Because I'm not gonna lie, if that was to happen during that time and I had to and I'm on the boat, I'll jump off too. I'm gonna jump into Olokun very quick. I am a daughter of Yemunja, so
Right, and guess what? Because they believed in reincarnation, they knew they was going to come back anyway in another life. They said, "This
Yep.
ain't it." They said, "This ain't it. I'm gonna come back another way." So here's
Yep.
it. So that's what made them so easily to say that, you know. And it might have been a spirit that came up on that boat and said, "Go ahead, go ahead." You know,
Yep.
don't do it. You know. So you were born with a specific path. Your goal is to travel it. Divination provides the roadmap.
Yep.
So let's go into that. Divination.
When you receive your Itai, you receive a particular Odu. And you have to follow that particular Odu because it's going to be your life Odu for the rest of your life in certain cases. With my path, with example, I don't know. I did not know who my biological family was until 2016. And when I discovered the entire family as a whole, I mean, the richness of the history just unfolded before me, because I'm not going to lie, it was painful to find these people. And it's painful because you literally do have to face your own fears on being accepted or not being accepted by these particular people, or any particular people that are your people by blood. I believe, in my opinion, you have to go down these destiny paths, and with these old dudes marking your lifespan, it gives you the chance to open to newer things. You follow me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And like I said, with I'm rich with my adoptive family, because when I find out the legacy of my adoptive family, because their lineage goes from Nigeria to Togo to Morocco, all the way into Congo. Go over here to the biological side, is the exact same thing, all over the east, all down the west coast of Africa and South Africa. I actually look at it right now. I'm in the middle of building bridges, not just for bridges that were broken, but a healing factor of a lot of people that were, that were cursed to lose their destinies, but now they're regaining those destinies back. You got family curses that were given to us years ago. Reason why some of us actually believe this is the reason why we're in chains now. And the reason why some of us became in chains, because of things that we didn't do, when we were over there in the motherland. Certain things were placed upon us. It's up to that person to follow their destiny paths the best way that they can, according to those old dudes, and following those laws. You don't have to be dogmatic about it, but you got to give yourself an openness to be okay with some of the things that happen, because things happen out of the blue and you'll be surprised at how miracles happen.
So, I often look at a divination aspect of when you go to a Babalawo, is that you're on a path, and I look at it almost like Doctor Strange multiverse.
Something like that.
So you're going down a path, and you're going down the wrong path, and you could do a certain thing to just get back on the path, right? But if you don't do that specific, what they call sacrifice, then you'll keep going down that path and you won't get to experience the other path, which is without the calamity. So it's almost like you get but both realities are existing simultaneously.
Yes.
So there's a part of you that actually went the good way. There's another part of you that went the bad way.
Yep.
Everything, because time is not linear.
It isn't. It really isn't.
Yeah.
Especially for those that have studied quantum physics, and I have studied quantum physics, and I studied I studied so much stuff. Again, it opens up your mind to explore other other things that are laid right next to you, and you may not know is right there until you had that third eye opened.
Right, right, right.
Because sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, you do have to have your spiritual head open to be aware of certain things, especially when it's dealing with that. And the Babalawos and the Ianifas are there to guide us and make sure that we stay on those paths as best as we can. If not, they have to make sure that they're covered. I mean, you can, if you're the client and you decide you want to go way weird out the way, the only thing that the Babalawo can do is say, okay, I'm a priest. I did as Ebos. I did what needs to be done. Let me go do the reading for me to make sure I'm covered.
Right.
Because if he wants to go la 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 that way, then I need to make sure that I don't get caught up in it.
Right. Because if you ain't listening, you're not listening. So you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So here's it. So our ancestors exist and must be honored. Sacrifice guarantees success. So we keep talking about this thing called Ebo. Ebo means sacrifice.
Ebo means sacrifice, but it does not mean blood sacrifice. Sacrifice can be just like right now. This right here with with me and you talking, this is my Ebo. This is the first time that I ever did interviews in years for anybody.
Right.
And this is my sacrifice to put myself out there just to try to clear the air on certain said things that need to be cleared. Because I'm not gonna lie, I do not like the way that Hollywood sensationalizes, our religion and our culture, and even the way that who I'm initiated to, how he's presented to everybody as the devil, or however way it is. I mean, and I love the movies that I look at, I love me some Constantine. Don't get me wrong, love me some Constantine. Papa Midnight in there is on point because he does exactly what he's supposed to do. He keeps the balance. And that's what Alagba Eshu does. His job is to keep a balance of the universe.
A shame. Yes.
Just like in other shows. What is that other show? American Horror Stories. They show Papa Legba. They try to show the demon side of him. Well, people want to say it's the demon side, but when you look at him, when I saw him, the way he was presented, I liked the way he was presented because he was presented as a no-nonsense Lord that you cannot bullshit.
Right.
You cannot trick him. You cannot play games with him. And again, he already knows your destiny. He knows what's up with you. He knows the troubles that you already got going on. Just like when he told old girl, you don't even got a soul. What you got?
Right.
You don't ain't got a soul. What can you offer me? You don't got a soul.
Okay, let's go.
But
go ahead.
Back to the Ebos. The Ebos represent your time. It could be food. It could be liquor. Your ancestors, especially when it comes to your family member, your ancestors that you revere. I actually literally, and y'all can laugh about this, I'm glad I actually bought this a long time ago because it's very useful. I actually bought a beer keg thing. The bar thing.
Yeah.
I bought a beer keg because I have several uncles on my altar that love beer. A lot of people don't like gin. I got family, they won't mess with the gin, but they'll drink up the rum.
Right.
I got some family that love tequila. They'll do tequila. So I've learned a long time ago, I actually keep a bar just for them.
It's
from my ancestors.
It's crazy how you'll see that stuff start to disappear on the altar.
Yeah, when I see it disappear on the altar within 1 or 2 days, I'm like, oh yeah, y'all were thirsty.
Right, you was drinking that's not just evaporation, okay?
You could say that's evaporation. They could say it's evaporation all you want to. I know the science. I've studied science and I'm familiar with science, but I'm also aware of spiritual entities that visit my house because I've seen things moved in my house. I have also exorcised houses before and got rid of spirits. But I have witnessed too many miracles, too many things to brush it under the rug and say that didn't happen. Yeah, that did happen.
So, so the next part I want to get into, the Orishas live within us. You need have no fear. That's the 16th. The Orisha live within us. Now,
Yep.
I explained that as is that Orishas represent aspects of the body, not just colors and nature and this, that, the other, but they also represent the body. So let's get into that.
We can do more than that. It's not just about the body. It's all about your work ethic also.
Mm.
You want me to tell you how?
How?
All right. Let's start with Ogun, my brother Ogun. Ibayashe Ogun. Ekudeshe Oni Ire Ogun. Ogun. Ogun's job. Let's go down this list. Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine, Coast Guards, the police, MTs, anybody that's part of the technical world that's working all this tech and everything, they are Ogun. If you are a Mason, and I ain't talking about the 33-degree Mason. I ain't talking about them Mason. We're talking about the stone Mason, the carvers, those Masons, the stone Mason, all of those Masons. These people are Ogun. Cab drivers are Ogun. If you gotta have surgery done, majority of the doctors that are working on you are Ogun. It's not just a look. Not only and look, when you're dealing with the doctors, you're dealing with not only Babalu Aye, who deals with disease, sickness, and medicine, but you're dealing with Ogun because you got to go under the knife.
Yeah. Oh, right. Iron, steel, metal. Right. Okay. So
When it comes to, when it comes to the law, you got a combination of Ogun, Shango, and Eshu. Shango would be is going to be the judge. He's the leader. Ogun is going to be the police officer pushing the laws. Legba is going to be the lawyer trying to get you out of trouble.
Okay.
Let's see. Shoot, even situation parts of cooking dealing with Ogun. Now the feminine side, the goddess side, everything dealing with Oshun. We got everything from our fans, everything from nurses, because Oshun is about healing. She's got healing waters. So you got our nurses, you got our medical assistants, you got those ladies. Oh my God. And office work. Office work is all Oya. She keeps everything in order to get everything right and get everything done.
My favorite food, that's my mother. Oh yeah.
Yeah. When it comes to the fishing, let's see. Yemunja is dealing with daycare workers. If anything that has a motherly figure and you have to be nurturing, teachers are Yemunja.
Okay, daycare, taking care of the family, kind of like the motherly kind of figure. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Yemunja Olokun.
Olokun, oh my God. You got to come back to everything that has to deal with the water. You got to deal with the shipmen, our divers.
Okay.
Super divers.
So you had that big submarine thing that happened with those billionaires. So you think Olokun said, heck no, what y'all doing down here? They might have had, was that a sacrifice? What was that? Some people say it was a sacrifice.
I look at it this way. I'm not spooked like everybody else is. I refuse to let the spookism get to me because that's what got a lot of us in trouble in the beginning with all the spookism when our other cohorts, when the colonizers were doing it to us. And now that we're on a footing to where we know who our people are and we're trying to find, all of us over here in America, we're trying to get back to our people of Africa and get back to our people that are indigenous right here. So the way I look at that whole situation, they had no business going down somewhere where they knew they shouldn't have went. And the way I look at it, that is universal law.
Okay.
Universal law. You go somewhere that you know that you had no business doing, then you're gonna, as they say, fuck around and find out.
Hey, if you take the spookism out of it, when you say a sacrifice, hey, that's a sacrifice for others to know not to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. That's a lesson that has to be learned. And I'm like, if y'all gonna still keep bumping your head, then I got to the point where when people keep bumping their head after I already gave them the message once or twice, chances are if I got to tell you the second time, I'm going to step back away from you and I'm going to just let you, like, I already told them once. Even when people call me, yay, they did splitty. I'm like, y'all, I already told them once. If they go around and do it, that's on them.
Mm-hmm.
That's the universe kicking their ass. That's Ifa kicking their ass. That's their ancestors kicking their butt. That's their Orishas whooping their butt.
And the main thing about this culture is a lot about self-accountability. What do you think that like, okay, what's the difference between Christianity or like Abrahamic faith versus like the African cultures of today, like the actual African spiritual culture? Truth.
I'm sorry, my Christian folks. I love y'all. I was actually ordained in the Christian church, but
you were ordained minister at one point?
I was at one point, but I'm gonna say this. According to all the covenants that y'all broken under the Christianity tree, I have nothing for you. Y'all broken every covenant. You broke the Adamitic covenant. You broke the Abraham covenant. You broke the Noahic covenant. You broken the Solomon covenant. You broken the Davidian covenant and the Jesuit covenant. I think I missed one. Did I miss none? No, I didn't miss any.
Wow. So
correction. I got to go through the list. Let's see. Adam, Abraham, Noah, the Jacob covenant. Yep. Because you got the laws that during the time of the prophets, the prophetic covenants. So yeah, that's 7 in all that we already broken.
So how were they broken in what way?
Abraham, look, what did Adam do when he broke the covenant to Adam? He got kicked out, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what that was broken.
They make a covenant.
Say it again, Sugar Love.
They make a covenant, like a pact, right?
Yep.
And basically, God says, I would do this for you, right?
Yep.
And you have to come to an agreement. I'm going to promise you this. The same thing I said with the nature boy. He made a covenant with God. If you spare me from going to jail, I would never do this or I would never do that. So when you make a pact or a covenant, just like a husband and a wife, you make a covenant, right? Yes. So if I give you this, I'm giving this to you, and then you don't keep your end of the bargain, so then that's when the curses come upon them.
Yep.
Wow. Okay. Interesting. Okay. So they broke a whole bunch of like things with God that was.
And God, look, God is forget. Yep.
But they knew the consequences because he said, if you do this, I'm going to do that.
And so where are we at right now?
At any point in time, they could have said, hey, this is a little bit too much for me, right?
Yep.
I don't want to be the chosen ones to carry on your law, statutes, and commandments. I can't do it. But they chose to say, yes, we want it, because they was looking at all the glory, but they didn't think about the job that they had to do, the covenant, what you had to do.
Yeah, they didn't think of, look, they thought about all the perks. They were thinking about all the perks, and they didn't realize the work.
They didn't think about what they had to do to fulfill. They were like, oh, the land is mine, whatever. Now we can do what we want to do. And it don't go like that. So God, but it's not like they got hit by a surprise.
No,
because God tells you what I'm going. This is what I'm going to do.
So, and history, please. You can see. I mean, we can just look at history right now. You know, this is me being an asshole. You can look at history of the last 3 years and you can tell how many covenants we broke already.
Right.
But I
Yeah.
digress. I digress.
Right.
And it's like,
Interesting.
look, they talk about, oh, we being woke. No, we've been well aware of everything that's going on. And we said we choose to stay aware, but we choose not to be around here with blinders on.
So let's get into this, all right? Witchcraft, the witch doctor, the witch. You guys are doing voodoo. Y'all are a bunch of witches. Y'all worshiping the devil. That's Hecka. You're doing hexing. You guys are this. Let's get into it. Let's talk about
it. I have I can actually say that I do not wish evil on anyone. I don't want to, don't refuse to. So whoever's don't look, if y'all doing wish bad stuff on me, I'm just gonna pray for you keep on going. We do have witch doctors out there. We do have those IJs. We do have those sisters and people that are out there that do it. And the way I look at it is this is by their choice. If they choose to do this, that's by their choice, and they're going to have to deal with those consequences of that choice. Because if you go against the laws of nature, what you put out into the universe, you do get back. You do get back. So you can sit here and say, oh, I'm making all this money. I'm doing this. I'm doing these blood sacrifices. I got this, got that. I'm doing all of this stuff. I'm getting all the stuff I want. I'm manipulating her. I don't like her. So we're going to destroy her. We're going to do this because I don't like her. We're going to put her in a place. We're going to do this. You doing all of this dirt because in your mind or in that particular person's mind, they're threatened by something about somebody else. And they feel that if they got rid of that person, that everything would be okay with them. No, whatever's going on in that person's mind, they need to check themselves. Go ahead.
You're getting stuck. Where the problem with that is that one, sometimes you really you get what you ask for, but the problem is people don't know how to ask for things. They don't know because of life. They leave out a lot of details, right? So that's where they mess up at, not saying that they should do it at all. But you can't say, oh, send me tall, dark, and handsome. You didn't, and that's all. And
that's all you asked for.
Right.
And
you didn't say educate. You forgot educated, non-abusive, loving, caring, kind, right? Or you may say somebody's going to love me. Now, what if you get that, but now you grew out of love? I don't want you no more. But now you're stuck with them, right? Right. So that's the tricky part when you start doing these things, because you always leave something out because all of that's not on your mind right now because you're desperate or whatever. Because
everybody always wants the microwave way. They want it quick, fast, and hurry. And they think that if I make this love potion, that it's going to make somebody love me. I look at it this way.
They may have forgotten to say, maybe we could stay in love, right? What if you don't want them? What if you all of a sudden you
but you're not supposed to manipulate that energy anyway like that. It's not a part of your destiny for that to happen.
That's right.
You're not supposed to manipulate that at all. You're not supposed to leave nothing out. You're not supposed to leave it in. You're not supposed to even fool around at all like that. And
no, but she's talking about the people who do it. Yeah.
No, but what we're talking about is that what they misunderstand. They think that us priests, because priests trump witches.
Yeah, we trump the witches.
Trump witches, and what that means is that like that power it has it's no. Anyways, there's a huge difference between something that is working in divine order and it has a cultural, has a structure. Whereas you're just dealing with certain spirits sending things out to like get a certain result, and whatever that IJ is, is the IJ the same thing as a muerto?
You have the muerta, which is a female aj. In the Spanish, that's dealing with the centurias. With us, with Africa, we know them as ajs, or we just call them witches. In other lines, they call the male witches are known as bakors.
Bakors, okay.
And these are people that literally deal with those negative spirits, those negative energies, and they deal with, they deal with the blood sacrifices. And some of them I don't like fucking with, because those are the ones that deals with the human sacrifices. And again, when I say that there are certain things that I feel and believe that should not be touched, especially when it's dealing with human or just blood sacrifice to begin with. Because again, we have people and things that die every 5 seconds. And as a priest, those are the priests and those are the babalaos. We got the ashe. All we got to do is put our hand to the ground and just give thanks and revere that those lights, that those people that were lost in the darkness, that were lost wantonly by innocence, we try to make sure that they go into the light and stay there. Because when you have people that die out of just pure malice and pure hate, those spirits are real vengeful. Yeah. And sometimes they're the most dangerous ones you don't want to mess with.
Yeah. Yep.
Example, exhibit A, George Floyd. Ibashe George Floyd.
Ibashe.
The way that man died and the way that all of us had to watch that man die was the most cruelest, evil way that I ever seen a man die at the hands of the very people that's supposed to protect us. That's the reason why I already know that Ogun is kicking their ass, as well as the Egungun George Floyd is. You follow me?
Yeah.
Because we don't have to, and I'm sorry to say this, there are things that we as a people, we don't have to see it. But once it gets to our ears that vengeance has been done, all we can say is Ibashe and give thanks and go forward. We can't sit there and celebrate and be in our ego about it.
Right.
Because that's another thing that a lot of our folks, especially in this day and time, we're so in our ego. It's more important to get a follower than and have people see us doing shenanigans that we should not be doing and embarrassing ourselves, than to just going forward and try to carry ourselves in the most upright way that we're supposed to.
Ashe.
So
Ashe.
When it comes to, again, I give respect for our dark side people, because not gonna lie, everybody is needed one way or the other. The universe, again, there's a universal law that we all have to follow. We all got that karma, that kismet, that karma that comes back to us when we're doing something, or when we're doing the right thing or doing the wrong thing. It'll come up to us. We can't, the one thing that I recommend, that when you're doing something and you know that you're doing good, give thanks that you're doing good. If you know that you're doing bad, be wary about the backlash that's about to come back of what you did, because it's gonna come one way or the other.
Right. Ashe. And when I say priest trump witches, I wanted to like give a little bit. I want you to, could you expound on that, the difference between a witch and a priest?
Witches, put it this way. I look at, because I've been accused of a witch too. I look at certain certain witches as our natural sisters. They're the ones that's got the natural. It comes to them. They don't have to go and get into they don't have to go into these books and study to learn spells. They already know the stuff. You follow me? And when you got those energies, because we do got those people that were born in darkness and that was born in light. So with them having that ashe, it goes back to, it's up to them on how they carry it. and how they conduct it. Priest, we have to study. We study. We're always in a book. We got no choice. And we got to keep studying. And we're studying our people. We're paying attention to our people. We're listening. We're not trying to say, oh, we hear you. No, we are listening to what you got to say, how you say it, when you say it, why you said it the way you said it. Because we have been taught to listen to the entire thing. We cannot have tunnel vision. We cannot just look through peephole. We got to look at the entire picture for what it is.
Right.
We cannot jump to conclusions. It's not our place to jump to conclusions. That's like going to war with blinders on. Not knowing. That's like somebody saying, yeah, come in. We got to go to war. We got to go fight these people. Okay, I need to go die, find it. Well, I need you to come now. No, I'm not going to go to war with you until I die, find out what the fuck is going on.
Right.
I'm going to sit here and just take your word for it. And just walk in there blindly.
Right.
Trust me, I learned that lesson too many times. I walked in fights blindly, and I'm lucky I walked. Look, I'm glad that I walked away safe, but I'm also, look, I actually had to walk away with a couple of nuts in my head and had to go kick my friend's ass. What the fuck you put me in that situation, knowing you're going to get both of us in trouble?
Right.
That is true. But I mean, I have been fortunate. I've been down that road, but I don't know. I have been fortunate where I know when to stop. Like something automatically stops me, right? I have.
Actually, no, that's your Ori. The one thing I can say, of all the Orishas, we come in this world with our Ori, our head. So when your head tells you something to back off, yeah, your Ori got your back.
No. Something physically stops me.
Oh,
my body stops. It stops. Right? I have been in the mix of so many things. I mean, I remember being in shootouts. I mean, cars, and I'm in the middle. Every bullet just misses me. I have so many testimonies. It's crazy. It's beyond. I mean, testimonies. That's why I don't take people for granted. I don't take life for granted, and I'm so thankful. And people don't understand why I'm always so thankful, right? And
well, what you just said, I'm thankful for you, because that is actually real life. A lot of people don't understand how just walking out the door is a detriment now. I'm sorry. I literally tell people I'm happy for the little things. The big things
Every little.
The big things I love and I appreciate, but the little things. Just being able to wake up this morning to be able to do half the things I'm able to do. I'm out. I look right now. I'm hobbling on my knee, but I'm not complaining. I can't dance right now, but I'm still gonna rock for my people.
That's right. Why did we start rocking at the same time? And I didn't know you was gonna rock. You can't see me, but we both rocked at the same exact time. Before you said rocking, that's crazy. We both sat in our chair and did the same exact thing at the same time. That's crazy.
The ancestors are with us. That's how I look at it. Our ancestors, I'm sitting right next to my Egunguns right now, and every last one of them are looking at me. I got Baba IfaYomi and Baba Keishagun are sitting up in the corner. And trust me, I'm not gonna lie. Ever since Ibashe, Oba, Ibashe, Baba Keishagun, I swear to God, ever since they left, I have been hearing them on the other side snickering. We're going to get everybody together. Watch this. We're going to get all of them together. Y'all playing this? Y'all playing this? We got this. We got this. I hear them over there snickering saying, oh, yeah, we got all of y'all together now. What you going to do?
Right.
Really, y'all? Really? Okay, you got us together. We here now.
Right.
And I'm not
Listen,
complaining.
I was not even aware of Oyotunji like that. I was aware of it, but it wasn't like I was gonna try to make it there. I never made it there. But it's almost like that when that happened, it almost like plopped in my lap. People started coming around that I'm like, well, who is this person? And who is that person? Like, what's going on? There's a king. They have multiple kings in America. So let's like really get into like a little bit of a lineage situation too. Because when we talk about the spiritual side, I guess people get kind of like, they're whatever their belief systems are, they could be judgy. But there is a whole history that's tied back into our ancestry of this whole thing, So I just wanted to give some context. Go ahead, Sugar Love.
No, that's Coco.
The dog did that noise?
That's that daggone. I'm telling you.
Oh, that daggone dog.
Coco's a
You know what?
puppy,
One of my
so-
taboos. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you a story. One of my taboos is I cannot have a dog. Right. So when I got done with my initiation, my dog got hit by a car.
Oh Lord.
And then I got another dog immediately, that a matching dog. I don't know, because my kids looked like they were just traumatized. It was a little pug. It was a puppy. It was so cute. And it just ran outside and got ran over by a truck, right? Because it was just used to like if I opened the front door, it used to just dart outside, and it was crazy. They got to see it. It was traumatizing. It was awful. Then we got another dog. Hold on, let me finish. We got that dog. That dog, his name was Sausage. That dog loved us. It was the sweetest dog ever. So the next day I tried to buy a matching dog that looked exactly like that dog. Now my Ita said, you're not gonna have, if you have a dog, it is going to make your neighbors and everybody begin to talk about you and create issues with you and your neighbors. Why was this dog escaping, going to the neighbor's house? So it's crazy how when you get your Ita, it's almost like it's telling you what's going to happen before it's going to happen.
Yep.
But if you don't think of it right, you think of it from a spooky way. You might not see. Oh dang! This is just trying to warn you not to. If you didn't have the dog, guess what? You wouldn't have this problem with your neighbors. The dog is the problem with the neighbors, right? Because I don't even talk. Because I'm not supposed to talk to my neighbors. I'm not supposed to be in communication with any neighbors of mine. And then the dog goes into the neighbor's yard. Dog goes across the street to the neighbors. Then they got this app called Nextdoor where they start talking about what's going on in the neighborhood. And it's like a whole gossip mill. And the whole thing is in Dallas. I'm not sure about how it is anywhere else. But in the DFW area, they are obsessed with dogs.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know that neither.
This thing called Nextdoor Neighbor. Oh my God. It's all about dogs.
I didn't know that.
Does anybody know who this dog is? There's a dog running down the street, and look, this dog over here. Oh, look at this cute dog. I mean, anytime there's a dog, they are going ham about the dogs, right?
Wow.
My Ita says I cannot have a dog. I cannot have any dogs.
See, I am everything. Once I add up everything, it's like I'm an energy person, right? So I will be what you would call a seer, right? Genesis doesn't listen to me, right? Neither. Maybe because I'm not on, that level, but people got to understand too, the universe put other people in your life too.
Yep.
Right. So you don't have to have a position, right? He puts all people in position, but I always tell her you have to change your energy. And pets their energy is your energy. So if something is out of order, then they would be out of order, right? Because they're giving their pet, especially cats. Like when a lot of people go, "Oh, I like cats," I said, "No, then something is wrong with you."
I have a cat, and the one thing I know about cat that when it comes to pets, Cats are known, both dogs and cats can see the spiritual world. Bottom
Exactly.
line.
Mm-hmm.
When you get a cat, and this is for anybody that's thinking about one, when you get a new house, the first rule is to let the cat in the house. Reason
Mm-hmm.
why is the cat is to get rid of whatever negative energy that's in
Uh-huh.
there. The cat will actually look at, I mean, because I witnessed my cat look at stuff, and then next thing I
Yep.
know, she'll do this little bounce, and she's swapping the air.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't know who you got rid of, but you got
That's
rid of
right.
them. Now, dogs can do the same thing. And what's crazy is I literally saw one dog literally attack a spirit and ran it out of the house.
Really? Hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
And see, this is what I was trying to explain to DJ. But once you, and like I always stay with a cat, and
Mhm.
my cat, any cat that I had, they always picks up on my energy, so they actually become me. They become me. But this dog, my dog too. I gotta train Coco. Coco's gonna get my energy, right? I don't like
Mhm.
no, like, you know how when people knock at your door, dogs bark. I don't like that. So my dog, if you knock at my door, he's not gonna bark. I didn't train him. But the thing is, I literally could feel some at everything. That's
Mhm.
why I have to go on vacation from people sometime, right? I
Ah,
have
you're
to.
an empath.
I'm a beyond impact. My life path is 11, right? Everything from even to my birthday equals 11. Everything around me
Okay.
is 11.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
from anything that you put to me, even my birthday, 820. What is that? 11, right? The 20th in Leo season, that's the
8 and 2
20,
is it?
that's the 28th
Yeah.
day. That's still, I mean, no, I can't get away from 11 impact seer from everything. And I'm also INFJ, right? That's also, I cannot get away from it, right?
You're spiritually in tune with your star player. Don't
Baby,
deny
I tell
yourself.
people,
Don't deny that.
when I tell people you can't hide nothing from me, you can't hide nothing from me. And
Mhm.
I'm gonna tell you what, but people think, like one time I think like me and Jen was talking, and sometimes Jen don't understand my seeing energy. She's like, don't say this because words have this. I said, no, I only could tell you what I see. I'm not putting curses. This is what I see. And I'm telling you this, don't put your hand on the fire. You're gonna burn yourself. That's how I'm saying it. But sometimes
Mhm.
she perceive it as, it's no, baby. I know I've been doing I'm a nice little age, right? I'm always going to say 21, right? But I've been around a while, and it has nothing I have never have not said has not came to light. Now, a lot of
Okay.
times I have to sit back though, because and then that also makes me keep checking myself,
Mhm.
right? So I'm always checking myself at all times, making sure oh,
Okay.
I'm sorry, or I apologize. And I always try to do what's right, because I know, but baby, if you could see it happens to you, you get punished too, right? So I see the world like totally different. And then that's why I said certain times when in my growing up phase, like I had to learn. You know, you're young, you don't know these things. But I always used to notice, like, certain people, when I say I see you, baby, believe me. When I say I see you, I see you. Right?
Mhm.
Mhm.
I see you. But
Mhm.
I may not, and then until like I don't have to know anything about you. Let's say me and you get ready to argue right now, right?
Mhm.
And I don't know, I've never seen you, and me and you be arguing. I'd be telling you so much stuff about yourself. Like, how the heck? I'll be blah, 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 and everything would be true, and it just falls out. I don't even know. It just comes right out of my. It just comes right out of my mouth, right? So
Mhm.
I'm like, but again, that's not nice. So I try not to argue with people, because you can't use that against people. But the main thing is we have to start doing more things out of love, right? And
Yes.
I think that's the message for your religion, is how to be the best person you could be and serve. And I think
Yes.
that would be like mine too. But I don't even have a religion, but that would be like mine too, right? And I love to hear.
And let me say this, Sugar Love, too, is that like really what's going down is that people mistake this religion as like a psychic type of a connection thing. There is psychicism, but the whole thing is that these people, these priests, okay, they were the doctors.
Yes.
They
Still are.
people in the village didn't go to the doctor because there was no hospital. There was no such thing as a hospital.
They always went to the priest. They always went to their Oluwo. They went to their Babalawo, their Iyanif, for whoever their doctor was, the bush doctor was then. And they did that.
And so you might have so let's talk about structure, because I really want to get into structure so people can understand that this is not just a witchcraft. This is not just spiritualism. This is not, spiritualism is the ability to see, right? Is the ability to hear the ancestors talk to you and be able to relay the message to people. That's spiritualism, right? So that's not necessarily connected to any specific thing. A priest like me will see it. Will have a spiritualist come to my house to help me to communicate until I learn how to communicate, because I'm still new. I'm only 2 years old, right?
Okay.
I'm a baby priest. I'm a baby. You know,
I was born with it.
So I have like I'm a little baby priest. So I'll have a spiritualist come in and say, okay, because I don't really know how to talk to my ancestors and sit and do the thing. And being a child of Oya, I'm supposed to be doing this a lot, apparently. And I didn't do it at all. And when the guy came, the spiritualist came. He's like, "You've been ignoring." They like, what the heck? You need to talk to us because there's a lot going on, and you ain't been talking to us. I'm like, I don't know how. You know what I'm saying?
Because you have to let everything go first, Jen.
Well, it's more than just that too, but it's more like
I can feel that part in where what they're telling you, but I keep telling you over and over until you just like the energy. I speak upon it as energy, vampire, whatever. Can nothing come in unless you're invited in? You could sit up there and talk to that vampire. You could talk to that vampire all day. He can't do nothing until you say, come on in. Right? Now, to get them out, right? That means you have to change everything about you. You have to let all of that go. Any old way that you have been living, you have to let it go for something new to come in. That's why
you know what my baby just did. My baby just came in, and she said, "I'm eating with the family." Right. So I have my altar in my altar room, and she's sitting out there at the. It's crazy. We're talking about this. She's sitting out there at the shrine, sitting and eating at the shrine, and has given the shrine some food. Because they got their hand of Ifa, so they're supposed to be actually learning how to deal with the shrine, with the altar, with the ancestors, with their blood ancestors. So when I talk about this stuff, it's like it's about this is not really about me as a person right now.
No, it is about you, and I like how you switched it up. I like how you switched it up.
No. This is a conversation because we're really interviewing Eshu Nikki. We can have a whole moment.
No, but she can also build on what I'm saying, and that don't have to necessarily be for you. It could be for anybody, right? So let's just take you out of it.
No, I'm talking about what I'm trying to talk about is the structure. Okay,
even with the structure, right? You have to also remove what anybody thinks. Right? Because they don't believe in what you believe in, right? You at the point where I can show you better than what I can tell you, right? Because you can't keep convincing people what it doesn't matter what they think or say, because you gonna have to show them. Even in the Bible, God said that they should be able to know me through you.
Okay. Exactly.
Right?
Same thing.
So if you are living in what you believe in, and they see the results from you. So even if you talk, you can talk about it, but they have to see it through you. Like everyone that you're naming, if you're living it. So now people gonna be like, oh my goodness, I love how you are living. Like what is that? Like why are you so happy? Like why do you carry yourself like that? Like what are the rules? Like how? Tell me about it, right? You're supposed to invite what's in you is supposed to invite them in, right? Because
Right.
Yep.
So
how you
that's
living it.
a whole nother live though. Well, that's not what we're talking about right now. This is not what this conversation is about. Okay, because I've already invited people into my life and what I got going on in this.
No, they supposed to
That's
invite
not what
themselves.
hold
That's
on, listen,
you
sugar
invite.
love.
Explain to her what I'm saying,
With
sister.
all due respect, sugar love, but listen, I have a okay. What
We
Be
gonna let her
patient.
talk.
Just say it.
okay, so this is not about me right now. This is not
I said not you
hold
in
on.
particular.
Right, I get it, but this interview is about Eshu Nikkei. I'm sorry, Eshu Nikkei, and her knowledge, you know, and the things that she brings and that she knows. She is a historian. She is the gatekeeper. Okay, Eshu is the owner of the crossroads. We're actually talking to a person that is initiated to a certain level. So this is so. Now, if I want to actually just talk about my situation and what I got going on, I will have a private conversation with her about that. But right now, I'm doing an interview on her because she is a breadth of knowledge when it comes to the religion, when it comes to the history of it. And there's so many people out here that are misconceived. They have misconceptions. And me being 2 years into the religion, I wish that I knew enough that I had an elder right here that's been in. How long have you been practicing this, Eshu, Nikki?
20 years.
20 years of knowledge. Okay. You used to be a minister. So and I mean, you went to college, you have your bachelor's degree, I'm sure. You sure you probably have your master's, right? All them books back there, like you were a master's degree. Is it master's degree?
All right, so DJ,
No, you said you was a pastor.
I'm going to step down, right? I overstepped my boundaries, and I am going to step down and let you finish the interview. And I apologize.
Oh no, it's okay. You don't have to step down. It's just that there was a direction I was trying to go. That's all. Okay, well, so the main thing is that how you have over 20 years of experience as a historian, correct?
Yes. The main reason why I became a priest is because I did not know who my people were. And for all of those people out there that were adopted, this is one of the main reasons why. Because I wanted to know. I wanted to know who my true people were. I wanted to know I didn't just want to know one part of my people. I wanted to know everybody. I wanted to know the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything in between. Because when I had to raise my Egungun altar, I had to learn very quickly who to put on the altar and who not to put on the altar. Because even with putting certain people on the altar, you got to learn their history first before you can revere them. They can be revered and they could have been, the first black man in the college. But if they were a pedophile, I cannot put them on the altar, regardless of them doing this great thing. Because you like kids, I can't put you on there. If you are a murderer, if you killed in self-defense, that's one thing. But if you just killed just to kill people out of the fun of it, you're not on the altar.
You know what? A lot of people don't know that. They might have an uncle that might be a Lester or whatever, and they just think, I just put my blood relatives on the altar.
There are certain people that do not need to be on the altar, that has to be, as we say, recycled back into this world. And they got to learn that lesson over and over and over until they get that out of them, until that is out of that spirit. that they
Hmm.
keep getting recycled with.
So when we talk about being recycled, what does that mean? What, like having to come
Remember you came into this world and you made a contract.
back?
Okay. And if you leave this world and you have not did any of the conditions of your contract, you get recycled back into this world.
Wow. Okay. How do you find out what the contract is?
Now, remember what I said about the Etah when you first come in here, when you first make your agreement with God, and then when
Oh,
you're born and they do the whole reading and the Etah and everything about you. You're supposed
yes.
to follow your Etah. If you don't follow your Etah, you don't have to follow your Etah to the whole full degree of it, but you do need to be, because this is your life, your personal life. You do need to follow certain rules and regulations according to your own life. You can't just be a rebel to your against your own life, your own
Right.
body. That's kind
Exactly.
of defeating the person. That defeats the purpose of why you came to this world.
Right. So like we talked about taboos. One of my main taboo was dogs. I'm not allowed to own any dogs because it's going to cause problems with the neighbors. So that means that, if any dog that I get is fixing to either poop on somebody's lawn, and then they might come over here, and Lord knows what can happen to me early in the cycle, whatever, from an
Now that
argument.
means that you're not supposed to. If if it says in your Etah that you're not supposed to have a dog, then you better replace that dog with a cat.
Right. Not saying what happens when you just get a dog. I gave an example. The neighbors
That
start to
there, I
yell
mean,
out.
that is the example, and I mean, because yeah, in food, I mean, again, depending on which part of the branch, because this is where we get to have fun. I
Okay.
want y'all to I want everyone to picture the three major religions. I want you to picture Christian, Nation of Islam, and Yoruba. The tree of Christianity, that is a 2,500-year-old tree. Big tree, ain't it?
Mm-hmm.
You see the branches. You see the branches of the tree. You see all the different branches of the Christian tree. You see Pentecostal. You see what you got?
Catholicism,
Catholicism. You got Baptist. You got
Methodist,
holy, all the different names in
Presbyterian.
Christianity.
Right.
Then you got the Nation of Islam tree. That tree is about 3,000 years old. It's a little bigger than a Christian tree, but still big. Okay.
Mm-hmm. What about the
Now,
Judaism tree?
huh?
What about the Judaism tree?
Judaism tree falls right under there with the Christian tree.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
sorry. They flip flop with the same laws.
Right. Okay.
Because if we're going to go all the way there, then we're going to have to deal with all the apocryphal Bibles, and we got to deal with the Dead Sea Scrolls and the Coptics and that whole
Right.
going down that whole Christian rabbit hole. Because
Right.
as far as I am concerned, we're all directly related one way or the other, whether y'all like it or not.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that some of us choose to appreciate, the natural order of things, than try to humanize everything that God has created us not to be.
Right. Right.
Now, this Yoruba tree is about 20,000 years old. I at least know that.
How many
That
thousand years old?
20,000 years old.
So it's younger than the Christian tree?
The Christian tree is 2,500 years old.
Oh,
The Nation of Islam tree is 3,000 years old. The
okay.
Yoruba tree is 20,000 years old. So
Wow.
you got this big old tree with these little shrubberies down here. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, due to this tree right here, and thanks to the diaspora, that's what created all the different branches of that tree. That's
Mm-hmm.
how you got the branch of voodoo, how you got the branch of Santeria, the branch of Lukumi, Obaya, and the list goes on. They all fall under this particular tree. because
Condola.
you're studying you're studying almost the same cosmology on one divination, and we're all practicing the 256 Odus. So
Okay.
it's a lot of education just studying that tree and just the natural laws. I mean, you got everything from dealing with herbalism to medicine, to all the medicines that goes on. So it's a lot. It's a whole lot to inhale. It takes time. A lot of people, again, it goes back to that everybody wants the microwave issue. They want the quick, fast, easy remedy. But a lot of real stuff, it takes time and it takes effort.
And studying,
It
right?
takes time and studying. If you create a spell, chances are, if there's a curse out there, there's a spell to remedy that curse. It took a person time and effort to put that curse on somebody. It's going to take time and effort to find a spell to break that curse.
Wow. And you gotta
And you
have
got,
the tools, right? So
yes,
do they source these herbs from wherever they are around them, or do you have to like actually go and get things delivered, or like how does it work with the
there are
herbs?
certain things that you do have to be delivered. Like it's certain areas, not even here. Like I'm in Texas. There's
Mm,
certain areas where you cannot find tete. I literally have to order out in Florida to get tete.
right. And
Or
what does Tay do?
tete is one of the healing leaves. It's like a tea. I use it as
Mhm.
a tea every now because it's actually good for digestion. Um, Tete is used in all kinds of stuff. You can cook with tete to doing your spiritual baths with tete. It's one of the main things that they put in your spiritual baths.
So what is a spiritual bath?
Is
What
the
is the
tete leaf.
what is the
A
purpose of
spiritual bath is where you get several different ingredients and you take a bath. And you have to take a bath for X amount of times that the Babalawo in Nifa told you got to take it. Like example, those of you that are children of Obatala, y'all know for a fact, and I shouldn't have to say this with me being a child of Eshu, but I'm gonna remind y'all. Y'all know y'all supposed to be taking white baths. My battery's about to die on me.
okay.
Y'all know y'all supposed to be taking white baths. What do you mean by white bath? Yeah, you supposed to get milk. It don't make a difference if it's coconut milk or regular milk. You get a cup of that, you put your Florida water with that, and you put that in your water, and you
Mm.
turn your water white. You're
Mm.
all white bath.
So and
And
what
it's
is
all
that?
about the ingredients that you put into that bath. Like the main three, look, if you do it, like with me being a child of Eshu, we deal with things in three. So
Mm.
if I serve you up a bath of, just like I said with Obatala, you get milk, you get the tete, you get the Florida water. That's 3 ingredients. Or I can do another extra. Add efun to it. Add efun to it. Get some rose petals. Get some lavender.
Right, 6. Right. So we did.
Want to take it? Look, want to take it even further? Let's go get some. Look, go get a cigar. Bust the cigar open. You got your tobacco. That's right. Look, and then we're going into Ogun waters.
Right, because
Because that's actually when you're dealing with tobacco, you actually dealing with protection for Ogun. So, Atala came down the chain with Ogun. So they are
right.
good to work together.
So and those things heal you in certain ways. They heal certain ailments. They heal certain mindsets. They heal you in a lot of ways. So that the spiritual bath is just a way to connect with the water, to connect with your
Yep.
spirit, and you set your
Yep.
intention.
Water is one of the main facets of being part of, is one of the main tap-ins to the ancestral world.
Mm.
Because I have seen people actually sit and meditate underwater at least 3 minutes at a time.
Wow.
They literally come up reawakened in certain ways. Just like there are voodoo stories where they talk about certain spiritual laws that, they literally kidnap the children and teach them, their secrets. and bring them back to the front, bring them back to the surface.
Wow. That's
So,
crazy. So, we're gonna definitely have to do a part 2 because there's so much to this. We didn't even really get, because I know you said your battery's about to die, and we're almost at 2 hours. Isn't that crazy? How time has just flown.
no time, yo. This is why I crack another joke. Time is on crack, trying to go get his next rock. Time be moving. He don't play with nobody. That's the reason why I say. That's the reason why I tell people we have to savor every moment that we have with the people that we love, that we care about, and that we want to be with.
Yes.
Because right now, with everything that I have witnessed in the last 3 months, we're not promised tomorrow.
Ashe.
And I can only wish, and again, the only thing that I wish for everybody is nothing but good vibes and great prosperity. That's all I ever wish for anybody and ever want for anybody.
Ashe.
Because we all deserve good fortune. We all deserve, to live good. We all deserve to overcome our obstacles and those struggles that we've gone through. We all deserve to get out of those situations. We deserve it. It takes time and effort for us to get out of it, but once we're out of it, we're those that know, they are able to appreciate it more. And just don't be flippant about it.
Right, Ashe. And I really, like I said, we have to do a part 2 where we can really get into the structure of the community, how those communities, how the historical aspect of things. And because you know what, and I didn't really look at the time, and then it's like, boom, it's 2 o'clock. I'm like, oh, we're already at 2 hours. We can't keep this going that long. And we gotta just do a part 2. Bring you back to really get into that and just get into cover some of the things that we did not get to cover, but I think we covered a lot of ground just today alone,
Okay.
And I wanted to apologize, Sugar Lil. I hope I didn't seem harsh. It's just that I really when an elder like this that has been in the religion get your time, I definitely want to keep the energy onto them, the focus onto them. That's all it was, is that so I, no offense, I wasn't trying to be rude. I just it's very hard to get these interviews with certain priests, because of the secretive nature of the religions. So yeah.
And just to let you know, because I have been watching you.
Yeah.
Everybody has been throwing me videos about you, and I have observed and watched several of them, and I said, this is a young lady that I don't mind getting to know. I wouldn't mind letting her do an interview with me, because my sister, when she came to me and said, yeah, do you mind doing an interview? I'm like, not right now. Not with everything going, not right now. I have to get my head right, because I wasn't ready for it back a few weeks ago. I wasn't.
Yeah.
I was ready for it now, so thank you.
Right, and you know what? That's one part of the community people don't realize, is that the community be watching each other. Even when you get a godparent, they be watching you like a mom, like a mother, like a real mom. It's like they're on my Facebook watching me. Like I couldn't believe it. I was like, man, they know they watching everything I do. I was so surprised because it's like you get this new family, and then the community watches each other. It's the whole community is just interesting to be a part of as a whole, and that's why I want to let people know, because it's a very dynamic thing. It got its little moments, little things about it. But
the way I look at it, as we are no different than a lot of our other cohorts that are in, the other religions. Everybody has their own negative issues. Mm-hmm. We all have our village idiot. Right. And we have to delegate. We have to learn to delegate and how to just move with these people without not trying to offend everybody, but make sure that we hold our ground and trying to make sure that these laws are held up the correct way. And my thing is just making sure that the Ifa laws are held up righteous, because I'm sorry, the way I was raised, we had a lot of stuff beat into us to where we have no choice but to stand our ground on, you either do it this way or just don't do it at all.
Ashe. Ashe. So
There's
listen.
certain things that just if you're not going to do it the right way, don't do it. Let the other elders that would do it correctly, and they won't sit here and have a big head about it or brag about it or beat on their chest and say that they did that. They literally go do the work and get it done. And we're not here to look for recognition for it. We got to do it because it has to be done.
Ashe. Ashe. Listen. We're gonna continue this another day, so there's more knowledge to be shared. What are your final kind of a takeaways from this? I wanted to also show these beautiful things. Is this your artwork right here?
This is my artwork. This is what I do for a living. So that is actually one of my ceremony pieces that I'm actually looking at right now.
Is that your
hat? That's me. That's me. You'll either catch me in the Jester hat, that hat, or the traditional crown. That's my full dedication to it too. I'm actually right now, I'm working on the Ogun collection. So I'll be doing a full collection of Ogun right now. That is actually my elbow.
And you know what too is that, I wanted to also get into these markings and things like that. The
veves, or what they call the veves.
Yeah, people don't know what any of this stuff what this means, anything. And we probably have to get all deep into it to we don't want to disrespect the secrecy of certain things, but just to understand
that right there is just that is actually a symbolism of Eshu. That's one of his personal veves. And it talks about all it's doing is making sure that the person that has this coconut, that they're just safe on all sides, north, south, east, west. And right now, all they have to do is put whatever ashe that they need to put into that to invoke that particular coconut, because it's already kind of woken.
Oh, okay.
With all the stuff on it.
Oh, okay. So those are religious things that you create to protect.
These are yeah, exactly. A lot of the implements I make are sacred for the people. I also do stone Eshus, and I do pocket Eshus, and and I also do the coconuts. I do Elekes. Yep, just like those. Those are Eshu Elekes.
Okay, those are beautiful.
Yeah, I have a full set that I have under the Shani Vet collection, the Princess collection. That is my dedication to Eshu. I have a dedication to Yemoja, a dedication to Oshun. And right now I did a reading that I got in the bowl that I have to do for Ogun. He wants his own collection. So right now I'm in the process of making all things Ogun.
Ashe. And you listen, these things that I just made willy-nilly, don't you have to count or something? You have to count a certain
there's a certain everybody needs to know with your Loas, Orishas, even with your Egungun. The Egungun number is 9. So everything is dealt with numerics. It's the numerics according to their house and their Egunguns.
Wow, okay.
So, matter of fact, with those particular Elekes, the ones that are in the very front, those are the traditional Elekes that all the Babalaos or Ianifas would give you. The ones that are in the back, I call those millennials. That is my new style from the tradition. It just they're just Elekes that pop a little more. The Babalaos, they actually like them because they're like, just like you got the traditional Elekes, and then you got them bling, you got a little bling bling to it.
Right. Right. Okay.
So that is actually like my millennial colors. So whenever you see a traditional Eleke like that, and then you'll turn around and see somebody wearing something that's more like a metallic red or a metallic green or a metallic blue, that's my doing.
Okay. All right.
Especially recently with a lot of Elekes that's being made, I've been making everybody. I've been being put to work. I don't mind it. That's how I make my money, is making these.
And people love. I always get compliments. People always try to touch them.
Nope. Nobody's not supposed to touch them.
Right. Not supposed to touch Elekes.
No. Do not touch the Elekes. You can see the Elekes. You can observe them, but you cannot touch.
Right.
I know some people that will literally backhand you if you touch their hand, touch their Elekes.
Right. Right.
Mm. But I do everything from the Elekes. I have mazos. I got a large staff back here. I don't know if you can see it back there, but it's right in the corner. It's like a full coconut, and it's got the staff with the coconut at the very top of it.
Right. So very creative stuff, like a lot of creative things with beading and everything. I mean, some of the beading that you see, like with the hats and stuff like that, it can be absolutely beautiful. I think, did you
It's
have
a
a hat
lot of
that you
work.
made? Yeah. You
It's
have
a
a hat.
lot of work, and I love my work. It's time consuming, but I'm not gonna lie, it makes me happy.
Right. So,
It's like my best therapy.
right. Beading. So, yeah. Do you have a website or something that somebody, if we wanted to like actually like support you or help,
Right now, the only thing I don't have my website up because again, we have been in the process of moving the last 3 weeks, last 3 months. We finally moved into a house, which I'm very grateful for. Where I'm sitting at is the altar room. Here, I'll do a little spin for you. Whee!
Man, that's a lot of books.
So, yep, got to keep my books, and I'm still collecting books. I have friends telling me, "Yeah, we need you to start." I'm actually starting. Speaking of, since we're on that, those of you that are asking, what am I reading now? I'm starting on this,
The gilded ones. Okay.
and I got the whole series. I got all 3 books, and I'm starting on this one,
Okay.
and I'm finishing this because that new book is out.
Children of Virtue and say
This is the
vengeance.
second book.
Is that a fictional book or is that like a?
This is a fictional book about the Orishas. Yeah, I need to get the first one, Children of Blood and Bones.
Oh,
They're
okay.
literally
Wow.
HBO is about to put a show out about that. So
Really? Wow.
please go read both of the books, and the third one is out. So I
Wow.
got a lot of that. This is what I do. I do nothing but reading, between reading and beading. That is my job, and I love it.
Right. Wow.
And I play this every now and again.
Saxophone. So it's a lot of talent going on all over the place, And then you're a dancer, right? And
Yes,
singer too. But you hurt your knee,
dancer
right?
and singer. Yep,
So
I'm really hurt.
how can people get in touch with you if
They
they
can
want to know?
FaceTime, they can Facebook me, Instagram me. I'm
What's
not
your
giving y'all my personal number. Y'all not getting that. But y'all want to get in touch with me, y'all can send me send me a direct message on Messenger. Go to LaShawn Law on Facebook, and just send me a message. I'll answer you or not. Chances are, if you say, "Hey, I saw the show," pop, 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 boop, 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 I'll be like, "Oh, okay, hi, how you doing? How may I
Right.
help you?"
And you do readings and stuff like that, calorie readings, and you do
I do the calorie readings. I do card readings, but that is at every blue moon that I do those, because right now my elders have me working on the Ogun line.
Mhm.
So I'm working with Ogun stuff, and I'm actually letting my Oluwo, who's over there in Africa, Gabon, Fagbenro, I'm letting him do majority of the reading. So anybody that needs a reading, please go over to Gabon, Fagbenro, and seek him out. He's actually, again, like I said, he's the one that initiated Baba IfaYomi and Baba Banjoko. Matter of fact, I initiated all 21 of my Fagbenro children that came over here.
Right. Okay.
So I recommend him because he's very good.
Hmm.
He's very good.
And you also
I have
do
much.
the Orisha priests. After a certain while, they can actually do the burial rites. They could do
Yes.
weddings. They could do
Yep.
so. Like I said, the priest actual place in the community is far beyond just the readings and the spell work. We actually are healers. We do the ceremonies of the community.
You got some of us are so good at Reiki. We got one sister there, and she's badass at Reiki.
Really?
Yeah.
See? Yeah.
I mean, the spiritual work is one thing, because again, we're in a day and time where we have people that mental health is a real thing. People used to laugh about it back in the day, but it's a real thing. And we have people that are lost on so many different levels, where it's like everyone needs healing some type of way. So we're all here. We're just not going to be dealing with the Hollywood sensationalism that has been posted and given us a bad name.
They tried their best with the American Gods, but
actually, you're talking about this?
Is that a book called American Gods?
It's literally, yes, it's a graphic novel called The American Gods, and I love that show because they actually followed the book. The only problem is it's not the people's fault that worked on that actually acted, that did the acting. I salute all the actors. Shout out to everybody, including my brother Anansi. You played that part. I'm going to say it was the screenwriters and the new showrunner, because I'm sorry. I have a big problem. I don't have a problem with my white folks. I got a problem when you try to tell us about our stuff. Especially when you try to whitewash the shit that y'all did, your ancestors did. Stop whitewashing what your ancestors did, because it's not right, it's not fair, and you know it ain't true. You just trying to make yourself feel better about the bullshit that you did. And that's just what it is. So I actually hold that particular screenwriter responsible, because they should have did at least 5 seasons, but it was cut to 2 because, again, when you got white people think they know better for black folks, it's a big problem. And I just wish that certain white folks would get that savior mentality out their head. All of us don't need to be saved. I'm sorry, but last time I checked, we were all born into this world by ourselves with our Oris, and we're going to leave this world by ourselves with our Ori. When we stand before God, everything that we have done is already been written down, did, and everything. All we can do is sit there and say, okay, Ashe. That's it. Cut and dry. A lot of people may be offended by me just saying the flat out truth and being honest that way, but there's no way of getting around it. To be honest with you, there's no way. So I pray that everybody, do the right thing, do your best. Everybody always be their best. Be your best, be positive. And always keep moving forward, regardless of the obstacles that are put in your way. If you're not on the path that you're supposed to be on, and you know that you ain't supposed to be on that path, maybe you need to get on the right path and go on and face your fears. But everybody be proud that they know who they are. Because right now, as of 2016, as far as I'm concerned, now that I know that I have biological family, and now I know all of my history of my my adoptive family, I can actually go through American time slots and say where my family was during this time. I got family that served Buffalo Soldiers on 3 different levels. I have family members that were part of the orphan train. I have family that were part of the Trail of Tears. There's a lot.
So the key thing is know thyself.
Know yourself, know your family, and face it. Face your fears. Do not be afraid. Don't be afraid don't be afraid of the dark. Be aware of what's going on in the dark. Be aware. Please be aware, because you need to know. Because ignorance is not bliss. and everything in the light ain't all what it is. You got to keep about, again, that's why out of all the Orishas, it's amazing that I've been initiated to Legbe Eshu for 20 years and only my Egunguns. And it just stops there. It doesn't go no further. I have the hand of Ifa. It doesn't go no further than that because my duty is to study my people. And that's what I'm doing. I'm being the family historian for my family.
I say, well,
and that's where I'm at with everything else. And when it comes to the politics and everything else going on, I'm gonna tell you right now, I stay clear of all air. Look, what me and you talked about before we got on here. I try to stay out of the wahala.
Right. No wahala. No wahala.
Hey, look. I want peace. I don't want problems.
Right. So let's do this because I really want to get some final words, and then normally what we do is when we are done with our show, we say last words. You say, DJ, take us out of here. So I want you to say some final words, and then I want you to say, DJ, take us out of here. And we are going to wish our audience a happy rest of the day. Happy Saturday. So final words.
We have to love unconditionally. We cannot love with conditions. DJ, take us on out of here, please.
Alchemize your energy. Darling, let your spirit be free. Don't give up. Keep on pushing through. Now is the time. It's all up to you. Alchemize your energy. My friend, let your spirit be free. Don't give up, keep on pushing through. Now is the time, it's all up to you. No matter the storm, but over tragedy. No matter the storm, but over tragedy. No matter the storm, we will always take flight. Keep on pushing through the darkness of night. There's no limit, let's reach for the sky. Shine so bright from darkness to light.